the Pure Cinema Podcast.
Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn gorilla, which I can defend. I like that. Yeah. I actually like that movie. Yeah. Now the thing about it is, Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn gorilla is thought of for a long time as, one of those famous bad movies that's been made and has been out there and has a big reputation for bad movie lovers and stuff. And in the 70s and 80s, it was ubiquitous on television. It played all the time. It was always on, usually late at night. I watched it late at night, a couple of different times. I actually remember seeing this movie when I was really young. I watched it with my dad. All right. My dad knew about this movie. A comedy team appeared that was basically just a knockoff, a ripoff of Martin and Lewis, called Mitchell and Petrillo, which was Duke Mitchell, the guy who looks like, vaguely like Dean Martin, can sing a little bit. I actually kind of like the way he wears that Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Buttoned open all the way. I've never quite had the confidence. I've never had the masculinity that Duke Mitchell, the masculine confidence, all right, to just wear my shirt buttoned down that far. And also, you're inspiring me to give Duke Mitchell even more. I like his performance as the gorilla. I think he does a good job as the gorilla. And Sammy Petrillo, who is a dead fucking ringer for Jerry Lewis, does Jerry Lewis's act perfectly. I mean, perfectly. Martin and Lewis were pissed off at these guys. They kept suing them. They're constantly being sued. A producer gets the idea to do a cheapy Martin and Lewis movie starring Mitchell and Petrillo and make it a horror comedy. And so they get Bela Lugosi and they come up with this cheapy little movie they do called Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, also known as The Boys from Brooklyn. And it's this cheapy island set movie where Mitchell and Petrillo are they're a nightclub act, and they end up going to like some Polynesian sort of island, and Bela Lugosi is a mad scientist who lives on the island, and like in the Ape Man, he has a serum, all right, that can turn somebody into an ape, I believe. I don't remember if it's a serum or whatever it is, but he ends up turning Duke Mitchell, the Dean Martin guy, into a gorilla, and it's just Sammy and his gorilla partner, running around this island with Bela Lugosi as a bad guy. Okay, now to tell you the truth. Okay, so as I mentioned, I saw this movie when I was a little kid with my dad, and I was a huge Jerry Lewis fan. And so I'm watching it. I can't tell it's not Jerry Lewis. When I was 8 or 7, I thought it was Jerry Lewis. And I go, that's Jerry Lewis? No, that's the guy who's trying to be like Jerry Lewis. But he's doing a pretty good job, I gotta say. My dad didn't throw the movie under the bus. He kind of liked it. So then I kind of hear about what a terrible movie it is, what a bad movie it is. All right. And so then like at some point when I'm in my 20s, it's on Channel 5 only. All right. It's on KTLA. So it's on Channel 5 at like 3:30 in the morning. So I stay up to actually watch. Let me watch this. Okay. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's an outrageous movie. I can't believe they made it. All right. It seems kind of preposterous. Everything about it seems a little crazy. And I really can't believe they committed to doing this. But I thought it was very entertaining. I really enjoy it. I enjoy, I don't say I really enjoy it. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. It's over before you know it. And it's entertaining. And I think some of the gags work in it. But it's outrageous. It's almost jaw-dropping in its outrageousness. As a matter of fact, I will tell you two things that I've always remembered of it since I saw it when I was a little kid with my dad. As a little boy, there's a moment in the movie where it looks like Sammy's gonna die, and he's almost dying. And so when they turn Duke Mitchell into a gorilla, he doesn't turn into just a big monkey. He's a gorilla on the outside, but he has the brain of Duke Mitchell on the inside. He's still got Duke Mitchell's brain. He's not a monkey. He's just a monkey. Yeah, he's just a gorilla on the outside, but it's still Duke Mitchell's head. So he walks around and he doesn't act like a gorilla. He acts like a human. He acts like a guy in a gorilla suit. And so when it looks like Sammy's going to die, and Duke as the gorilla, grabs him and, holds him, and he, can't say, "Hey, buddy, oh my God," but he acts out, "Hey, buddy, oh my God." That touched me when I was a kid. Yeah. And I still like that moment now. I still appreciate that moment. And I'll admit something else. That movie has a really sexy moment in it. So in the movie, they're on this Polynesian island, and there's a hot little Polynesian piece of ass, all right, that likes Duke Mitchell. But then there's this chubby, zoftig Polynesian lady that likes skinny Sammy. And she's a little, she really likes Sammy, and Sammy's a little scared of her because, she likes him so much. So she's after him, and he's always trying to avoid her. But at the end of the movie, they're all in the nightclub together. And the big girl grabs Sammy and throws her arms around his neck and just lays a makeout kiss on him like you wouldn't believe. It's one of the best makeout kisses I've ever seen in a movie to this day. And I noticed it when I was a kid, and I still wait for it every time I see this movie. And not only that, Sammy notices it because he's been avoiding her through the whole film. When she lays one on him to such a degree, she lets him go. And it's not just like he looks like all dazed and like Tweety birds go. He's like, "Wow, she's a good kisser." And he goes in for seconds. And Duke has to yank him away to go up on stage because he just wants to make out with her. Yes, exactly. Hot little Polynesian piece of ass. Now, the deal was the producer who made it with a shrewd intention in mind. He thought that if he made the movie, Paramount would not want it to be released. And so though he would make the movie, Paramount would buy it in order to destroy it. And so that was sort of the idea behind the whole thing. And he didn't know if that was going to work, but he thought it could work. But that didn't happen. The movie actually ended up getting released, and Mitchell and Petrillo ended up breaking up, basically because the lawyers and the agents involved with Martin and Lewis were just unrelenting. They became toxic because every club wanted Martin and Lewis to come in, and if they booked Mitchell and Petrillo, that would just be it. Now, so I think the film is completely entertaining. Duke Mitchell, everyone makes fun of him. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's okay in it. Everyone makes fun of his song. I kind of like his little song. I think it's kind of catchy. Yeah, I like him in it. I think Sammy Petrillo is fucking amazing. Of anybody who's ever impersonated another star in a movie, none of them have ever done it as good as Sammy Petrillo. It's uncanny how much he's like Jerry Lewis. Nobody has ever done an impersonation of somebody, starring in a film and done it as perfectly as Sammy Petrillo. Now, if you ask me, okay, it's like, is Sammy Petrillo great? Yes, he's amazing. Not only is he great, if he was starring in the Jerry Lewis story, he would deserve an Academy Award. This is not hyperbole. If this was the Jerry Lewis story, he would deserve the fucking Oscar. That's my feeling about Sammy Petrillo. Nobody that I know officially has ever officially asked Jerry Lewis about Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla. But James L. Nyberg is the one writing the William Beaudine biography that finally got the bright idea to get on record Jerry Lewis's thoughts on it. And he called up Jerry Lewis, and Jerry Lewis took the phone call. And so for the first time on record is Jerry Lewis's take on Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla. So he tells the story, and I don't want to tell the story, but the great punchline is, and I'll tell you something about that movie. I don't know how many times over the years People have come up to me and said, I really like that movie you did with Bela Lugosi.